Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sim Racing Alliance. It's season 13. We are starting out tonight strong.
As they do go side by side. It is the formation lap almost done. They will look, all eyes to the lights. That's going to be an amazing start.
And we have a crash in turn 1 already. What's going on?
On to the bus stop straight. Goes for it around the outside.
More contact behind. That is huge. A couple of gainers in that one.
She's giving it everything. She has to. I'm not sure, but it's over yet, though.
This is the last opportunity.
We're off and away for SRA.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final round of Season 14 for supposed to be Division 1, so we will get that fixed momentarily. I'm joined in the booth with Alexa and Selena.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Well, everything cut out for a
Sorry.
second. I was like, wait a minute, what is happening? But hello. We are back for the finale
We
of
are.
the SRA GT3 Team Series, and it's Imola, and I am looking forward to this one. It's a tricky track, and I am just very keen on the type.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Imola, isn't it? Because it's a tight track. There's only a few places to go for opportunities. But overall, hey, there we go. We are fixed. Thank you.
And we are back.
And we are back. You can actually see our lovely faces and a Porsche, because Selena has a Porsche. But no,
If
it's
only.
similar. It's tight. It's tricky. Only second race here. Selena, Stephanie, from what we've seen so far this season, what can we expect?
Chaos. That's what I'd say, but hopefully not. But so far this season, we've seen a lot of chaos unfolding in this division. But hey, it's great for us because we're watching it instead of being involved in it with getting hit with the penalties. But it's entertainment for us, but not so much for the stewards. But it's great to watch another incredible season, and this is the finale, so it's go big or go home for the championship.
Yeah, well, hopefully the chaos stays on track and not in the stream, as it already turned out for chaos
Exactly.
having the wrong scenes up. So, if I make a few little errors, bear with me. Thank you. But I'm expecting some great racing. It is the finale, like you said. And I think that we might have some really tight championships going on here. If we want to take a look at those quick while we're waiting for them in for qualifying. So, not quite as tight, but it looks like we have Andrew Rados and Jeff Spangler 20 points apart coming into this final race. So, I always forget how the points line up as far as placement goes, but what does Jeff have to do to maintain his championship status?
Wait.
Anyone? I feel like I've lost everyone in here.
Checking.
Okay, there you are.
There we go. Things are happening.
Yeah, it seems like so. I was talking about you've got Andrew Rados and Jeff Spangler vying for gold champion. Andrew Rados has 576 points. Jeff has 556, or 20 points apart. I forget always what the points distribution is. So I was wondering if any of you knew how many see it, where Jeff has to go in order to get this championship back from Andrew Rados, if he's going to.
Yeah, I'd say, it's gonna be really tough. I mean, so far Jeff Spangler has been having like consistent podiums, but I mean, he's not too far off from Andrew Rados, and I'd say, I could be very wrong, but if Jeff Spangler wins this, he probably might take the win for the championship. I'd say. I mean, his season was really consistent, but so has Andrew Rados's. So it's going to be like a really tough battle to the finish, but we'd love to see it.
I'm gonna let you guys talk for a minute about this some more while I fix my microphone, because I know what's wrong.
All good, we will do that. As for the stream, you can see it on your screen as it does currently stand. It is Andrew Rados who sits up top, 576 points to his name. Not far behind though is Jeff Spangler, sat P number 2, 556. Then 465, which goes to Tiago, with Mr. Sir sat P number 4 with 424, and Jeremy Mercer rounds out the top 5 with 410 points to his name. Going through the rest of the order, it is Gomo Wilson in P number 6, followed by Ranto. Then it's Jacob Palmieri, Danny Durant, Omar S. Garcia rounds out the top 10, followed by Timothy Flamger, Anton Rushovic, Kelvin Lau, Peter O'Brien, Dan Cran, Michael Menning, Mark Anton Laundry, Guy Manperson, Chandler Williams, Tyler Carr, Franco Sanchez, Eric Marecki, John Laz, Max Simmons, Colin Dunham, and Arjun rounds up in P26. And Selena, I will let you take us through the second page.
Cool.
Yes.
Sorry, I jumped it over to the team standings.
No worries. And we have, for the team standings, Madhouse Racing, definitely no bias here, let's go. It's the Samurai Bros, Jeff Spangler and Kelvin Lau sitting in P1, followed by Peter O'Brien, Jeremy Mercer in TSE. Horse Girls, Please Break T1 with Diego Denarte and Chandler Williams. NWSR Daddies, Kevin Blanchett and Andrew Rados in P4. Rocket Racers, Michael Benning and Mr. Sir in P5. Jersey, Dan Cran, Gomer Wilson. Disqualified Anton Vucevic. Omar Escorcia. Vacum Racing. Franco Sanchez. Renato Dornelles. MHR Mecca's Run, Danny Durant, Max Simmons, and for the top 10, Raceforge Esports, Tyler Carr and Mark Antoine Landry. For the top 10, and the rest is follows, as you can see on the screen. That's a lot to go through.
Us over to the track map because the Silvers are out qualifying. If Alexa would like to run us through this map real quick so we can hop over and watch them get their qualifying laps in.
Oh, I would happily do that. So, of course, for the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari, as it is actually called, most people call it Imola, however, it's a nice, simple track. It's nice and tight. You have turn number 1, which is a slight kink right-hander. Then you head down into turn number 2, 3, 4, quick chicane into the long left-hander. You then head down towards the Villeneuve chicane of turn number 5 and turn number 6, Tamburello being turn 2 and turn number 3. You then head into the hairpin at turn number 7, which then makes you head uphill, turn number 7 being a good overtaking opportunity, probably one of your best ones along the circuit. Then you got turn number 8 through the right-hander into the left-hander at turn number 9. You can push track limits as much as possible as you head through the left-hander. Turn number 10, also to keep it side by side, look for a dive down the inside into mineral waters, aka Aqua Minerale, of turn number 11, 12 and 13. A heavy braking downhill right-hander right-hander, which then heads back uphill through the kink of turn number 13. You then head into what many people call the RNG chicane of turn number 14 and turn number 15. The sausage curbs on the inside, as you can see in the background, a key factor which can send you spinning into that little alcove, as you can see on the right. You then head downhill into the kink of turn number 16, and then the final two corners, well, final two penultimates of turn number 17 and 18, then through the right-hander of turn number 19, the pit entry just on the exit of turn number 18, and can catch many people out as you come right onto the pit limiter. As we now go trackside, we have qualifying underway for the silver drivers.
Yes, we do. We have silver drivers out here with Eric Murphy currently holding our P1 with a 141.292 on a very dark Imola.
Yeah, well, we've got a dark Imola to start this off with, so that's going to be a key factor. There's 15 minutes, 44 seconds left here in qualifying. If you don't know how this works for you, we'll run it through for you real quick for one last time this season. It is a silver qualifying and a gold qualifying, both split over 20 minutes. The first 10 minutes is for the silvers, the final 10 for the golds. And of course, easy way to differentiate: gold drivers, white number plates with black numbers; silver drivers with grey number plates and white numbers. And then going through your order as it does currently stand is going to be right up there. Sitting up top is the one, the only, the absolutely lovely John Moffat with a 1 minute 41.290, 0.002 off the top time. Then it's Victor Diaz, but then Max Simmons quickly goes and dethrones that, 1 minute 40.920. And for Madhouse Racing, Macca's run. And this is going to be the key thing here, Selena. It's a dark qualifying, so the temperatures are going to be a little bit lower.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and just thinking about it right now with the golds too, we have yet to get to them in a few minutes time, but just the track starts out as fast, so the grip is not going to be that ideal, but once the silvers rub in all that tire rubber, so to speak, the golds, I'm pretty sure it should swap over to optimum, so they'll get the advantage of grippier track. But it's still quite the difficult track though, especially at night with no lighting.
Yeah, well, that's one of the key factors with Imola. Where are your brake markers? Do you use things around the circuit, or do you use parts on the circuit? Like, personally for me, turn number 1 is going to be, well, technically turn number 2 is going to be that curb on the right hand side as you head it down into Tamburello. And you got to figure out where your braking markers are, because if you're using parts which are outside of a circuit, then it's going to be harder to see them in this nighttime. But when it comes to the daytime, it's easier to see them. So nighttime driving, you would really want to be using the parts that are on the circuit, and you could just see how dark it is on the PIP, provided
very dark.
And you can just see how dark it is, barely getting any parts of the circuit. So it's the headlights which are going to be the key defining factors, and the bright lights tonight. So maybe not as many drone shots, unless we want to see some good old white flying around this infamous circuit, Stephanie.
Yeah, we are now. It's really quite dark now. I believe that racing is going to happen actually at sunrise, so we will be able to see them a bit better. But this is, I'm sure, making it really hard for these guys to hit their braking points. You really can't see that well, and it's so easy to miss. I do have to point out that Ilpo Ruotsalainen made this very attractive livery for us for the last race of a little nod to Beavis and Butthead, so we can have some fun watching this one go around there. I'm not sure. I'm guessing that Alexa and Selena, are you guys familiar with this little duo from when MTV was a thing?
No, can't say that we have, unfortunately.
Okay, so we're showing our age here maybe a little bit, some of us, but yeah. This was the one of the few like brain rots of our day. Talking about things that every generation has that are kind of off kilter and nonsensical, and this was This was one of ours, so having a little fun with it here. But yeah, it is very dark for this qualifying. So the track temperatures don't seem all that bad, even 1919. So a little cool, but really not that bad as far as speed goes. I think what's going to hold us up here the most, be most difficult, is this horribly dark track for these guys. Just, you really have to have that muscle memory and know exactly where your points are, because you probably won't see whatever your visual you would normally use during the daytime is.
Yeah, well, we'll look at Eric Marecki right now, which then is now dethroned by Victor Diaz, less than a tenth separating that top two. It's a 1 minute 40.697, which is the current top lap time here in the silver qualifying. It is then Eric Marecki, of course, followed by Joel Moffat, then Cortez, then, of course, Max Simmons, who rounds out the top 5. 19 silver drivers on the grid tonight, Selena, and of course we're going to have the gold drivers coming out very, very shortly, as there is just under 1 minute remaining of the silver qualifying. So it's going to be interesting to see what lap times the gold drivers will be putting down when they eventually come out onto the circuit, as on the PIP I think we can already see some of them starting to line up.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just trying to get it's so dark. It really is so dark. I'm just trying to like find all like the key points to like at least find some sort of illumination to capture like just the cars just out on the grid. But yeah, not much to see in this total area of darkness, but I will mention it. What else is more dark than Imola? Nordschleife itself.
We are going to be moving on from that conversation as the gold qualifying now gets underway. We are going to move away from the north. We're going to move away from Germany. We're going to go to Italy. We're going to go to the Emilia-Romagna region, and we're going to go to the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari, because we got gold driving on the way, Selena. So Nords, we will talk about Nords, not tonight.
But eventually, eh?
Yeah.
Eventually, yeah. Eventually, yes, but not tonight, because the gold drivers are out there. Stephanie, we'll let you take us through who the gold drivers are out on the circuit.
We'll go through that in just a second. I did finally get a chance to go back and check on the Twitch chat here. So we have we have a note from the Drizzle guy about DTs being a factor here, and none of us mentioned that, so it was a good catch, as they are super easy to get in some of these turns to get track cuts, so that might end up being a factor. The other thing was, I'm sorry.
Drive-throughs in D1, I highly doubt that.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Especially as it gets like towards the end, and maybe people are pushing a little harder for that last race. Jess, by the way, this will be a question for you, I guess, Selena. He wants to know what the brain rot was for your generation. I think you guys are about the same age.
Well, at least for Gen Z, it's honestly, within the past couple years, I have not paid attention to like Gen Z's brain rot at all. So all I know is just TikTok dances and all that. But oh man, I think Gen Alpha has pretty much taken over, and they're I don't even know if it's even worth mentioning on the stream, honestly. It's just Gen Alpha.
I just want
go there, but Gen Z, I don't know.
I just want to point out, I'm also Gen Z, and the fact you did not instantly mention Gary Mod upsets me.
Yes, now that one you have unlocked my memory. I have not heard that in years.
Gary's mod was crazy.
Yeah,
let's get talking to qualifying. We got on the side.
This is what happens.
Is this why I'm here?
Yeah, to keep us focused. So
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
So out here we've got Jeff Spangler, our current champion, who is looking, I mean, he's not looking to be unseated, but as we saw in the standings, that Rados is looking to unseat Jeff. Although Oh, there he is. I was afraid for a half a second that Rados was not here today, but he's here. So these two will be fighting for the season gold championship together. Then we also have... Oh, Jeff has now put on the currently took pole with a 140.6. So we also have Jeremy Mercer out here. Anton Rushevic, you can take a look at him. We have a prediction for tonight that Rados will be P1 with a 10-second buffer. Huh.
Yep.
I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, I just want to point this out. Still, P21 upwards, less than a second.
Yeah. That's tight.
So it's tight and it's windy, and it's going to be key around this circuit because, yeah, Imola, but it's the season finale, and and honestly, this is crazy to me because over a year ago, I made my debut on commentary here on SRA at Imola. Thank you, Jess, for that, because Jess brought me in.
Oh.
I legit only typed 2 messages within the server, and Jess was instantly like, hey, you're a commentator, do you want to do commentary? I'm like, hell yeah. And my sleep schedule has not been the same since.
Well, I did see in the also in our Twitch chat that Speff Jangler ran his first 39 last night, so you know, maybe he will take that P1.
Maybe. I don't doubt it at all. He was really close last week, I'd say, pretty much. But then we had Andrew Rados sitting up nice and pretty at the front. But hey, it's Imola. Anything can change. They're both really quick drivers.
A lot of them are quick drivers as we're looking here. We're all at 40.3 to 0.5 for the first 5 drivers out here.
Yeah, well, this is going to be the key factor. There's less than 5 minutes to go here in the qualifying session. And as it does currently stand, it's Jess Spangler who sits up top with a 1 minute 40.302. It is then down into P number 2 for Victor Diaz, I think. No, it is Diego Dinarte. My overlay obscured. I'm going to turn that off. There we go. It's then actually, nope, it's Gomo Wilson who sits P number 2 now with Mr. Sir P number 3. Jerry Mercer sits P number 4. Dinarte now sits P number 5 with Escorcia P number 6. Rushevic P7. Rados P9. Dan Kran in P number 6 and P number 9. And then it's Kelvin Lau in P number 10. But 0.360, not that big of a margin. Not that big of a margin when you really think about Imola.
No, not that big of a margin. Although I will say that I'm seeing quite a few laps getting invalidated as I look up and down this board. Might be a sign of things to come.
Yeah, well, it may be, but less than a tenth separates that top 2. Looking at Jerry Mercer right now, who now goes down to P number 5, as that is Andrew Rados, who goes to the top, 1 minute 40.237. Now separated by less than a tenth is Andrew Rados and Jeff Spangler, as they do now come up through an Acura Minerale. Is going to be the TSE Ford Mustang. Good old bit of an American engineering out there on the Italian circuit as the sparks fly. Honestly, that's one of the good things about nighttime. You just see how much you just see all those sparks having a little bit of fireworks out there on the circuit. It is season 14, it's Division 1, it's round number 8, and this is qualifying. Round the final 2. Round the double left-hander, we will now come Lamborghini just in front of Mr. Sir. Where are these two drivers going to go? Jerry Mercer, the number 37, coming through the corners right now. It is Gomo Wilson who sits up top. 0.015 separates that top 2. Jerry Mercer stays P number 6. Slower lap time from that last one. It's now going to be going over to Dinarte in another Ford Mustang, but this time instead of a blue Mustang, it is a black and red Mustang here in the Italian night. Down into the braking zone for turn number 17 and turn number 18, and it is now through the left-hander and onto the exit. Going to be having as much throttle as you do need. As you can see the pit entry on that left-hand side. You see the pit barrier coming around the final corner. Through the right-hander, goes to the line, Dinarte to the line, and goes to the top. It's pole position. 1 minute 40, 1:80 for Dinarte in the Ford Mustang. TSC, Jeremy Mercer in the other Ford Mustang looking to improve. It's a Ford, it's a Beamer, it's a Ford, McLaren in the top 5. So the Beamer, Beamer, really the outlier up there in the top as we watch Jeremy Mercer goes through Acqua Minerale, seemingly just trying to improve as much as he possibly can. Silver drivers, of course, not out there on the circuit. Michael Menning also out there. However, he is 0.547 off the top lap time. He's actually behind the pole sitter for Silver, who is Victor Diaz. As we come now through the Beamer, it is going to be Dan Cran who comes through the final corner, will go to the line. Where does he go? In the BMW, it's pole position to the top, 1:39.987, and Beamer out of nowhere from P11 to P number 1, 42 seconds remain. Who is looking to counter-react?
Yeah, I saw that huge like half-second delta on him. I just had to put the camera there and see what he would do with that if he could hold it. I've been seeing also Mercer was doing the same thing, but Dan Cran was really the winner on this one.
Yeah, well, Dan Cran may be the winner, but there's still 10 seconds to go. Yellow flags do fly to 747. Opts to back out a little bit there into the braking zone. For Acqua Minerale, we will.
Dinarte takes pole from Dan by less than 200ths of a second.
Wow.
That is how close this is.
Oh, I love close racing.
Wow. It's qualifying. It's a checker flag now flies here at the Imola circuit as everybody's going to be getting the final laps in. Next person to the line will be Andrew Wilson, as we see a few others come to the line right now. Andrew Wilson for CM Purple Cobras comes 414. Where will they go? P16 currently goes to the line. And they go P12. Not too much of an improvement, but not too bad nonetheless. Jeremy Mercer sits P5 currently, 0.202 off the top time. The top 3 separated by less than a 1/10 of a second. Where will Jeremy Mercer go? The number 37 goes to the line. He will be there, as my thing freezes for a moment. As where will he go? As that is going to be Jeremy Mercer, who... My thing froze, and he's only P number 3. Apologies for the break in flow. My thing had a bit of a moment there. So that's qualifying done. Selena, Stephanie, I think we'll have a nice little chat just when we get to the grid. But we can't. But of course, we can't get into the race in action without a quick word from our sponsors.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specialising in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
Thank you, and we are now back at Imola, looking at our grid facing us with all these beautiful cars. We are going to be led by Tiago Dinarte, who has taken our pole position. He will be followed by Dan Cran. Look at a nice camera. Oh, we can see him now. Dan Cran and Jeremy Mercer, Jeff Spangler P4, and Anthony Rados P5. That is their two big championship battle, really, is Spangler and Rados. We'll see what happens with that. And they will be followed by Calvin Lau, Omar Escorcia, and Gomer Wilson, who will then be followed by Anton Rushevic, and Michael Menning slipped himself in there to P10. Selena's Pip, we will bring that back. Also, so we have it. Yes, I had turned it off during the night because we couldn't see anything. It was just a black box. So
it was just black. You couldn't really tell the difference if it was on or off.
So I was like, oh, okay, let me just make it go away. And I was like, yeah, I'll put it back on and see. I will be the train wreck for this race. Let's see.
Oh, good.
All right, and then let's see, P11, we've got Renato Dornales, followed by, this is how I'm going to learn the names, Andrew Wilson, Guy Manperson, Chandler Williams, Tim Flaminger, Mr. Sir, Peter O'Brien, John Laz and Victor Diaz, Eric Marecki in P20. I have to note, like, from P1 to 18 is all gold.
Oh.
So they really, like, broke out this time. Kurt LeMay, Samuel Cortez, Joel Moffitt, Max Simmons, Arjun, John Crown, Brian Anderson, Donovan Colton, Jason Allen, Colin Dunham, Jorge Blasini Rivera, Fire Queso, and Zach Martin, Ilpo Rutsalainen, Austin Carpenter, Evan Kim, Carrie Arnaud, Joseph German, and Landon Drebes is, looks like in a pit lane start.
Yeah, so a few drivers opting for pit lane starts there. It is season 14, it's Division 1, it's round number 8, it's the finale. I'm Alexa Marshall, joined by Stephanie Fisher and Selena Boonstra. We'll be bringing you the action for this finale. The championship fight continues to sit on as we now go to the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari, aka Imola, here in the Emilia-Romagna region. This is where it counts. This is the final race. This is where you have to make your final stand. Some of these drivers may not be in D1 this season, but they'll make it count now as all eyes go to the lights here at Imola, and we are racing around the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari as we continue to get going here, and it is a nice and tidy start there for Diego Dinarte, but it's not so much for Dan Cran. Already a possibility of losing out. Jeremy Mercer already losing out to Jeff Spangler as they now head down into the Tamburello chicane. heading to the left-hander, into the right-hander through turn number 2, still wheel-to-wheel, side-by-side, is Jerry Mercer and Jeff Spangler going to stick it right there with him as we get the drone shots of all the action happening at the back, and that is going to be Omar Escorcia.
Oh no!
Who's
Woo!
having a
That was very
moment,
close.
and he is round and down as they continue to go
Oh
down.
no!
350,
Oh!
there's more contact, and there's more mayhem up at the Villeneuve chicane for a square between the rest of the drivers as they head now through the hairpin. You can see a driver on the PIP looking for a move around the outside, up against them, putting the throttle down. Through the left-hander at turn number 8 we now go, and then it's nice and tidy, 9 into 10, 11 and 12. It's Acqua Minerale, mineral waters is what it's known in English, but everybody calls it the Italian version. And up through Acqua Minerale, you can see in the background, it looks like Dormels and Wilson going to be up against each other. Bar for P number 11, that's Andrew Wilson, who will actually get it done, and he will stay there for the time being. Dornelles is going to be in front of him, and this is going to be the key factor here as we see moves being made at the back down into the RNG chicane, as many of us sim racers call it, and it's going to be an exit on, and it's going to be on the exit, pulling that throttle down as much as possible, trying to keep it as close and tidy as possible. But it's Chandler Williams who's locked in a battle with Laz, who is right in front of him on the exit at turn number 18 onto turn number 19 through the right hand. They're going to try and keep it there with him as quickly as possible, but we are nice and tidy. It's apart from a little bit of chaos at the back, and it looks like it needs to be there with him. It's Chandler Williams versus Laz Still, Valve P number 14. These guys are going at it with please break turn 1 round the outside. Will go Laz, that's Williams who goes around the outside. Now Marecki's up against Laz as well, down into the Villeneuve chicane, through the right-hander, keep it tidy, don't go wide, don't go under the gravel, but that is a nice tidy. We've seen plenty of action at the back. Talk us through it, Selena.
Oh yeah, just watching like Timothy Vlamger and Austin Carpenter just trying to trying to find spaces, but actually, speaking of spaces, German and Austin Carpenter just going side by side a little bit at Tosa, but that Ferrari wasn't able to muster a way through and keep it there. But he's just looking at the back of the end of those two GTRs, those teammates actually. And but back here is pretty spicy. And I believe earlier Timothy Vlamger was spun around momentarily, but is still on track. He's side by side action. BMW versus GTR, but Austin Carpenter hoping to find a way through the gap. There is a gap, but he is not in contention to make it through. And right on the brakes very early. That Ferrari goes through. Contact has been made. A little bit of drama. Landon Travies licking his lips right here, hoping that there will be drama. And probably going side by side, but nearly 3 wide there, as right now 2 wide. Catching that slipstream with the Ferrari ahead. This is going to be very dicey by the looks of it. Holding it through. That GTR holds right in between. That Porsche has that acceleration out of the corners.
Yeah, so we are going to call in here, Selena. Apologies for that. That's Mr. Sir who goes down the inside now, and that is going to be Victor Diaz who will lose out on the position, as that Victor Diaz had Mr. Sir behind him that entire lap. But it's absolute scenes as he finally gets that move done. And now it's Victor Diaz who is going to have to deal with Max Simmons, who is now up against him, heading down into Acqua Minerale. So he's lost out 1 position, he may lose out another, but we have got the Lamborghini who's passed, followed by 2 McLarens, a Ferrari, a Porsche, and which rounds out the top 20. But right now, Max Simmons on a defensive play. He's in P number, he goes up, he goes through, but rear end loses it on the exit of the RNG chicane, and it's now going to be looking on the back. It's John Moffat trying to make his way through, and that is how it is done, and that's just nice and tidy, Stephanie.
Yeah, I'm noticing Victor Diaz in the back here now. And I'm going to bet he's not going to lose connection once this entire race because he seems to only lose it when he's in the top 10. So maybe that's his strategy to actually be able to finish this one today. Although he does seem to be struggling a bit under lots of pressure this lap from several racers who are managing to eke by, maybe not so gracefully. As there was some small contact.
Yeah, so just a little bit of small contact there. Heading now down into Villeneuve once again, but already in these first 5 minutes showing how hard it can be. As Selena, we got a battle going on the PIP. Talk us through it.
Indeed we do. Brian Anderson getting a little hip checked. Loses a fair bit of positions actually, about 3. Going into Tosa, 2 by 2 into Tosa, and on the outside, very nice and clean. Bassini Rivera not getting the better half of that, but Brian Anderson just right at the back end of that BMW. Oh, very tight up ahead with either Jason Allen or Evan Kim, either one of those two teammates in the Bachelor Lexus. But ooh, things are looking very dicey with Tim Blamder right at the back end of that Lexus, right coming into, as we say, the RNG chicane. Will things file up very neatly? It looks to be so. But that was intense there. That was very intense in Sector 1.
Yeah, well, that's how it can go around Imola as we look at this 272 right now. He's got a good old dinosaur, a good old dyno car coming up behind him. Of course, it isn't Rexy, which may be a bit upsetting for Selena. But then again, it's a McLaren, so you won't see a Rex delivery on that. But we'll go over to Andrew Rados, who's now looking for the move. In fact, he looks like he's almost going to be losing out here, but that is going to be unlucky. Off and into the gravel. He's going to lose out the Ford Mustang, losing one position. Is he going to lose another? Looking for the outside. Michael Menning's already got the move. That's put Andrew Rados down at P number 7. It was Wilson who was looking to get past, but now he's got to defend as he has got Dornales, who's right behind him. Something's happened to Rushovic, who is Rushovic in front? It's a bit hard to tell. No, Rushovic is behind. So something happened to Rushovic there, going through most likely Villeneuve, down into Mineral Waters, and then through the right-hander, heading up the hill, nice and tidy on the exit. But it's a little bit lucky, and honestly, big props to our drone operator and the production truck, because how they keep it going with that sun glare going through just before Aqua Minerale, I honestly have no idea. But coming now through and up one more time on the exit. You see the battle on the PIP a little bit further back. But right now, looking on the order, it's Donate who lays, followed by Dan Cran and Jeremy Mercer rounds out the podium. Jeff Spangler looking to win the championship. Curler sits in P number 4. Michael Menning P number 5. And that will be rounding out the top 5. It's Ed Rados, Lau, Wilson, Rushovic, Dornales, who rounds out the top 10. Coming down the main straight, Marbles on the inside, as you can see him. Through this right-hander and onto the exit you now go. Through the king of turn number 1. Down towards Tamburello. But right now it's Andrew Rados who looks for the move. He's up against Michael Menning down into Tamburello chicane. Don't do a 2021 Hamilton Verstappen. Little bit of a touch on the rear end. Wiggle end will loosen out. He's going to lose out here, but he gets away scot-free. That's actually going to hurt Andrew Rados more than he would think. Kelvin Lau makes his way through. Double abreast into Villeneuve. Nice and tidy. That's how you do it. That's a lovely move there, but he's going to fight back. It's the Beamer versus the Ford Mustang. Rushovic versus Wilson, as these two drivers are going at it, and they are loving it. The red and white versus the black and white. Heading now down, a little bit of an orange glow thanks to the rising sun. Through the left-hander, onto the exit, onto the timing, down into Mineral Waters. It's going to be Rushovic who is ahead and up into P number 8.
That train behind, if you take a look at that, they get really bunched up there.
Oh, they really do. Oh, German looking to take the inside. Got a little bit squirrely there by the looks of it. Behind, is that Brian Anderson, I believe? Yep. And wow, this is a long train. God, behind here. Keeping it nice and tidy by the looks of it so far, at least on this lap. A little bit close racing, but that's how we like it up here.
Yeah, and we will try and...
Sorry, as someone pointed out, Denarte is flying on this track today. He's currently in P1 with a 2.3 second lead, and the fastest lap with a 141.370. I'm sorry, no, his fastest lap is a 140.850. I read the numbers wrong. My apology.
Well, heading out of Villeneuve, currently watching Dornells, as the key factor is, Denarte is out there, he is flying, and I wonder if we can make a special request to our production truck to see if we can get visual on the leader from the PIP and the drone cam, as we do head now, as we have it on the main screen actually, so the drone cam can keep on with that battle. He's absolutely flying out of Acqua Minerale now, heading down towards the chicane. You can see that gap he has, you can see the Beamer, you can see the Ford Mustang behind him, as well as Jeff Spangler in P number 4. So it looks like the battle for P number 2 is going to start to heat up. It was a two-way battle, but now it looks like it's going to become a three-way fight. Jeff Spangler wants that podium position, he wants that championship. So it's going to be interesting what will happen here. And whilst we may get some good onboard shots here, we've got to admit, in those final two corners, whoever lives in those houses has some wonderful trackside views.
They are very lucky they get to live here. That reminds me of Bathurst too. There's actually, believe it or not, there's a driver who actually lives on Bathurst, and his name is Kenny Abol, and he drives a Mercedes, but he actually lives in one of the houses that's actually on the track, which is really cool to just literally live on the track. Like,
that's going to be contact. Apologies, we're going to cut in there, Selena.
No worries.
That is contact between Chandler and, I believe, Wilson, as that was down into Tamburello. And that is going to be an unfortunate contact, kind of 2021-esque from Hamilton and Verstappen. Not so much opening lap and not so much wet weather, but you could only just feel for that as the Tron livery picking up damage on that front end now. Back to you, Selena.
And yeah, just also following this battle. But yeah, I was saying, it's just really cool to just have houses just on the track. Like, I mean, how could you top that? I would totally, if Kenny Abol just sells that house one day, I would totally just buy it and just be at my second favorite track in the world, which is Bathurst. But isn't that a cool thing?
Indeed it is, and I don't know if this is true or not. I have not done my research on this, but we are getting happy birthday Donovans in the chat.
Oh!
Yes, I was gonna note
Perfect!
that.
Happy birthday to Donovan,
Yes.
who is currently racing. So actually, that's a cool day. Racing on race day and have a birthday.
Oh, yeah, we'll make sure to get some nice shots of his car and his livery, and big happy birthday to Donovan. As he pops into the pits. And I'm noticing, no singing, yeah. I'm noticing that quite a few drivers are pitting early this time around.
Oh yeah, well, this is the thing as well. We haven't really done this. I don't know if you guys have, as Andrew Rados right now is going to go for that move. Not going to work out on Kelvin Lau. Shout out to Grandma Colton. I don't know, she's probably in chat. Shout out to Grandma Colton.
Right, I was wondering if I knew some people had parents and grandparents that do watch the streams, and I thought his was one of them, so thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome for the you are welcome. As right now we are watching good old Andrew Rados, who currently sits in P number 7. You see Donovan Colton's car, lovely car being let off the jacks, and off it goes. What a shot! unfortunately ghost things in ACC, so they just go through each other
Just,
in the pit
pretend
lane.
that didn't happen. But let's
Yeah,
just also pretend that the pit lane, the Donovan Colton crew, I guess you could say, if you will, is all there just changing the tires. Well, let's just pretend that happened. Trying to do an IMSA there once again.
Oh, and that is going to be John Crown, who picks up a drive-through. We are only 15 minutes in, and the first one has been racked up. As right now, Andrew Rados looking for the move. Goes to the right, goes to the left. Who's going to get the move done here around the outside? Possibly not going to work out that time. Slight bit of contact. Argy Bargy right on the exit. Rear end squiggle onto the exit. Here comes the good old Anton Rushavik taking advantage. Picks up one place. McLaren's going to be slower. Down into Villeneuve. Almost contact. Inches, millimeters over the curbs. That is a double overtake. A lovely double overtake for Anton Rushavik, and that's going to be contact down into the hairpin, and that is going to be the McLaren of Kelvin Lau, who will fall down. R.I.P. Tosa.
Wow, that they are really out with the elbows out tonight. Anton does not want to take a chance on losing the championship to Jeff.
Blame him? Well, we don't remember.
I just caught him on the PIP. It just appears.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Jeff Spangler. If you get that reference, you're a legend. It shows you have good taste in not only sim racing but also sport, but technically also entertainment. It's a reference to WWE, but also more specifically TNA.
Gotcha.
Wrestling.
Indeed.
So if there's any wrestling fans, you probably get that reference. If there's no wrestling fans, you probably don't. Anyways, so Selena has a tangent about Nords. I'm allowed my tangent about wrestling, okay? As we head back to the action, as we look on the PIP, plenty of moves being made, plenty of time being made through. But looking on the map, it seems like apart from this one train we've got, everybody's starting to spread out a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens now. I see Jeff Spangler's out there with clear air front and back. So he's just having a good old time cruising around P3. Sure, he'd like to be higher. Now you got Rados back here, really wanting to climb up through these, but with these contacts, I have to wonder how many penalties he is going to acquire and how that might affect where he ends up on the board at the end.
Yeah, well, the drive-through's already happened this race, so that's going to be unfortunate for him. A little bit further down, as we look at the NWSR car, Andrew Rados. I apologise, but I will not be saying that full name because I'd rather not get cancelled on Twitter. As that is Andrew Rados, who is now going to continue through here, as it is through the left-hander. But honestly, who doesn't like having a bit of a good old laugh? As that is going to be Andrew Rados now, who is going to be coming into the pit lane, as the pit crew will not be laughing. They'll be out of the garage, they'll be in the pit box, and they will have those tyres at the ready.
Oh, Jeff Spangler getting a really good run there out of the exit into... Oh, wow, what an overtake. Just came out of nowhere and just sent it, and that was very clean. And through goes Speff Jangler.
So we're looking at it on the PIP as we're looking at Cortez right now on the main feed. As you see the rest of these drivers trying to make their way through. Right on the back of Moffat is Cortez, now down into Villeneuve once again. Plenty of times to be in this race. And oh, and that is a McLaren off. And was that Colin Dunham?
No, that would be Matt Simmons, who I believe just had a self-spin. Yeah, all on his lonesome. But luckily, he was able to be out of the way as they came through there.
Yeah, luckily enough, out the way. Keeping it tidy, keeping the incidents low, keeping the incidents low down. So we'll look at the rest of the action right now as we're currently still watching quarters on the main feed. Plenty of action on the PIP as you see the rest of the drivers around the circuit. You can also see where they're out on the circuit on the main feeders. Right now, you can see on the minimap, lapped car time, as it is going to be those drivers who are making their way through. The 929 seemingly on a defensive play. Dan Cran also right behind them. We're looking at Max Simmons right now, the 328. Heading out of RNG chicane down into the final two corners. Who's going to have an advantage here? McLaren tries to stick his nose in as Laz calls the box and into the pit lane. Tries to go for the up and under, but it's not going to work out for Max Simmons that time round for Madhouse Racing. Macca's run, but it's unlucky. It's nice and tidy still, as that is going to be the beamer of Blasini Riviera, who will go into the pit lane. Same with Laz. So plenty of drivers, P23 downwards, all taking the pit stop. So a lot of drivers opting for this early stop here this evening, Selena.
Interesting to see that. And well, I mean, I guess I just want to go with the undercut by the looks of it. I mean, it's still pretty early, I'd say, like about 38 minutes left of the race, and to see drivers pitting already is interesting to see. But I have seen in the past, many seasons ago, I believe it was, I probably might misremember this, but I believe Timothy Flamker did a mega undercut. I think it was back in not season 7, I think season 7, when it was nighttime, when the race was actually night, and that worked. I think he got in from last to like P10, I think it was. I could be misremembering entirely, but I do remember something like that with an undercut. So I think the undercut is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things with this circuit as well, when it comes down to it, it's Imola. And it's a really tight circuit. So on some tracks like Silverstone, dare I say Zone, so Silverstone, Spa, Monza, it's pretty easy to overtake a car with bad tyres. But around a circuit like this, not many overtaking opportunities, as we see a nice little battle heading down here for 5K, so down the main straight. But it's one of those things where it's such a tight circuit. If you pit earlier, get the fresh tyres on, catch up, get ahead, even though your tyres are older and most likely going to be struggling a bit more, you're going to be able to hold on to that position just by playing a bit defensive, because you're going to be you're a bit slower, but the tighter circuit is going to be the reason why you can be staying ahead.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And I think them proving that to the power of suggestion is to just undercut. Yeah, especially on a track like this, definitely.
As Jeff Spangler comes out, currently the leader of those who have pit. I know there's a better way of saying that. As looks like Jeremy Mercer may have taken our best lap of the race so far with a 140.650.
I am just doing something real quick. I am going to, let's see if this works, as that is going to be continuing to fight here, as, there we go, fixed it. As that is going to be plenty of drivers into the pit lane. It is 5K, so Riccolo watching right now. He's going to pick up a lot of positions there, because P number 4 to P number 4 downwards, practically pitting in a big old train.
They are a lot of people pitting, and I don't even remember who was in what position. Dan Cran was CP2? Oh, can't even catch him. We'll watch Dan come out of there. Pit lane seems to be an exciting place these days.
Yeah,
oh,
Good old.
Victor Diaz off at the
Oh!
RNG chicane. Oh no.
We will get a replay on that as Victor Diaz he is down the order. He is quite a while down the order. But we'll try and get a replay on that. Currently now down in P number 33. We will get a replay from the production truck down into RNG. What happens here? Was it a spin on his own? Yes, it was. Oh, I've done that exact thing before in that exact same style. Oh!
Oh, not that
Oh,
style.
Oh no, not that way for sure.
Oh, it goes from bad, but I can recover it, to, oh my god, my rear left tyre is gone.
Ooh, you hate to see that.
So race leader Dinarte into the pit lane, as only 6 drivers yet to pit. So John Moffat, Kim Simmons, Queso, German and Crown. The only drivers yet to pull into the pit lane then. So, to be honest, we're at that usual point now. 35 minutes to 25 minutes is the point where most drivers will be making their pit stops. So, we're at that normal interval now. But a lot of drivers opt in to go for that early pit box. As we see Dinarte in the pit there. Joel Moffat will stay out as Fire Queso came into the pits. What about Kim? Is Kim going to opt to stay out, or will he go? Kim stays out. Dinarte finally gets let off for Jackson. Out he goes. He is P number 4 currently. P number 5, he's falling down the order. As let's continue to get going through this, shall we? As everybody else has pitted, so that will be P number 5 down into P number 6, possibly 7, 8, 9. It's going to be updated eventually, as there is, I believe that was Jeff Spangler. I'm looking at the livery from an aerial shot, and I believe that is Jeff Spangler. So
Yeah.
we'll wait for the thing to update.
Just waiting
There
for
we
the
go.
standings to update.
And yep, there we go. It is
Great.
Jeff Spangler.
Oh, so the undercut maybe worked? Dinarte was leading it up to this point until he went into the pit. Now he is behind Mercer, Dan Grant, and Speff Jangler.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The undercut. I did mention this. The undercut works around here if you could get a fast enough lap in. Plus, it also depends on how many people are around you. Because if there is lots of people around you and you pit, some of them are going to see that thinking, oh, I'm going to pit, I'm going to overcut, I'm going to stop you from doing that. So it's a bit of a gamble when you're out there, but a few of those drivers did have clean air, so that's possible. So that's a high probability that they got that. So we'll wait and see what happens here, as we are currently watching Timothy Flamger down into Aqua Minerale one more time on this circuit. 31 minutes 45 seconds remain on the clock. It's 6:34 a.m. in game time. 22-degree ambient temperature. No rain on the forecast. 22-degree track temperature, as we see Timothy Flamger goes for the move, gets off track, avoids the sausages, and avoids getting sent down the order even more than he already does. Timothy Flamger in the 991 up against him. It is a Nissan versus Lexus. Good old little fight through the left-hander on the exit, but you gotta be careful because you got Anderson, you got a good old bit of British engineering. You got a good old Aston Martin coming up behind you, as this is a Five Eyes about to kick off, if I do say so myself, Selena.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, a little bit of a touch there with Jason Allen just taking a little bit of the dirt there. Ooh, right now, side by side with Brian Anderson, with Jorge behind them. That was a little bit spicy. But now Jason is having to deal with Brian Anderson, but gets the worst half of it. Bassini Rivera shows up, and now Jason Allen is now getting his under well attacked. It's now a war zone with that Bachelor Lexus. He lost a couple of positions after that little incident with Timothy Flamger, but seems to be back into his rhythm.
Yeah, well, it may be back in the rhythm, but you gotta wonder how much it affects them. Max Simmons now comes into the pit lane for P3. John Moffat and German, the only two drivers still yet to pit in this race. Jeremy Mercer is net leader as it currently stands. Dan Cran, everybody's favourite admin, sits net P2. Jeff Spangler net P3, trying to hold on to that position right now, but he's trying to close in. You can see that Beamer right in front of you, and you want to close in on it. You want to have it. You want to get through, and you want to get more time. He also sees the leader on there of Jeremy Mercer just in front of him as well. So right now, as we are just over the halfway mark, this fight is on, and the race for the lead is on as it currently stands. The chase is on. Insert theme song here. And then it is going to be up against these drivers now down into Aqua Minerale. If you're only just tuning in, welcome to the Sim Racing Alliance. This is Season 14. It's Division 1, round number 8. The Autosborma Enzo Edino Ferrari, aka the Imola GP. I'm Alexa Marshall, joined by Stephanie Fisher and Selena Boonstra, and we are bringing you the action here in the Italian Emilia-Romagna region. If you are watching on the YouTube VOD, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you are notified when all of the divisions go live, or you can go back and watch the rest of the VODs and you will get perfect view for when we eventually come into season number 15. And then of course, if you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to say hi in the Twitch chat, because we like to know who is in here with us. Right now, we are watching this battle between Michael Menning, who's currently chasing down Dinarte, Stephanie.
He is. For a minute there, looked like he was going to try to make a move, not quite close enough at him. This point right now, wondering if Menning decides to battle Dinarte, will that reel Rados back in and put him in striking distance to get a little bit closer to Speff up there, who is, trying to take over Dan Cran's and or Jeremy Mercer's positions up there to give him a shot at getting that season championship yet again. So front has a lot of chance of being spicy here.
Yeah, well, it may be spicy, but you got to select your spice. Which
yes.
is that you got to select your kind of spice. Do you want it mild? Do you want it hot? Do you want it extra hot? Or do you want it flaming? Hopefully not flaming, because we don't want to go a bit overboard. Maybe a little bit hot, not so much mild, so you can have a bit of racing action. As right now it's going to be Joel Moffat who comes into the pit lane from the lead finally, and he will be coming in for his spot, which we didn't even mention this. He's a silver driver who was leading. So congrats to him for that short time he was up there. It's going to be German who will now inherit race lead, but of course, still there, Jerry Mercer, Dan Cran, Jeff Spangler, the net podium and at this moment in time. But you got to remember, that top three on net, still within 2 seconds.
Yeah, they're pretty tight up there in the front, and we're going to keep a very close eye on that and hop up there should anybody close that gap up. They are about a half second between each other from Mercer, Cran, and Spangler.
Yeah, so we shall wait and see as good old Hairpin, good old Tosa, as, yes, I know it took me ages to say the name, as right now, going down into Tosa, Andrew Wilson on the back of the Lamborghini of Mr. Sir, who is up there with him. Honestly, nice and tidy as here comes the McLaren of Wilson, and this is going to be a heck of a fight down into the left-hander. Nice and tidy, don't run too wide, pushing it right to the limits. And it is right down into Aqua Minerale. The McLaren has the inside line. Lamborghini goes very hot, goes very deep, but keeps it within limits. And maybe the McLaren getting a little bit cautious there, as we've got a chase on the PIP, but this action now turns into a three-way fight, Stephanie. Possibly four-way.
Possibly, but yeah, That got a little bit tight through Aqua Minerale. I was afraid somebody was going to make contact, but they kept it clean. And I'm actually going to hop up to Jeff Spangler, who is now 2/10 away from Dan Cran. Is he going to try to make a move? Jeff seems to be driving a little bit more, I don't want to say cautiously, because he's not slow by any means, but not seeing any chances being taken out of him. Quite clean. So I think he's being very aware of the possibility of losing timer points if he makes contact or causes any incidents here.
Yeah, I mean, he's got time on the board. We're just past 25 minutes remaining, so he does have 24 minutes, 12 seconds left. So maybe just biding the time, because I think we know how this usually goes. Everybody plays it a bit cautious, and then the final 10 minutes, everybody decides to unfold it as Mr. Sir right now, up against a Mustang, good old Tron livery, if I do say so myself. And then he's all over the back of him, having a good old sniff at that bumper, or good old diffuser, I should say, of the pure American engineering. Personally, who knows? It's a good-looking car, but both of these liveries do look very nice, and to be honest, it's one of these things that is good with sim racing on PC. I'm totally not jealous. And, but, hold up, the front of that Ford and the front of that Mustang and Lamborghini look a little bit bumpered up. But I just want to point this out. I don't know if this is just me, but I'm getting BMW vibes. I'm getting BMW livery vibes from Mr. Sir's Lamborghini.
You're not the only one. I think we've had a few comments.
Yeah, I see that too.
We're running a BMW liveried Lamborghini. I never thought I'd be saying that. Anyways, as we go on to Mr. Sir, still up against the car right in front of him, which is Williams. As Williams is just holding on to that place as it does currently stand. As we're getting some beautiful shots on the PIP of the Imola circuit. As that is going to be going by Wilson, who picks up a drive-through penalty.
Drive-through number 2
Yikes.
of the night.
Drive-through number 2, Gomo Wilson. I just want to point this out. We were talking about a BMW livery, and now a BMW gets a drive-through.
There you go. Commentator's curse strikes again. In a different form.
Yeah, the commentator's curse shouldn't work like that. Yeah, apparently it does. We've unlocked a new powers chat. We've leveled up.
We always level up here.
So these drivers having a fight, good old tidy time. But you can see it on the minimap. We've got a few trains forming as what is happening up here at the top. You can see the top 3 all within the view of the helicopter cam, as you see the PIP down at Aqua Minerale on the other side of the circuit. As these drivers, this is the thing, Jeff Spangler just can't seem to catch up. He seems to get closer on the straights and through the corners, but right now, then again, I may have just jinxed it. As here we go, down towards good old Villeneuve. But unlucky that time round, he's still going to be right there heading into Toaster, Stephanie.
It is. I'm wondering if he's trying to get up close or if he's just trying to have himself in the position to take advantage of anything. Is he letting Dan drag him up to Jeremy? Those are all possibilities, which we won't know unless he gets a pole position and not pole, podium finish somewhere, and we can interview him and then we'll find out. But for now, Dan Cran is now sniffing up the backside of Jeremy Mercer, and Jeff is good at that. Oh, what? Dan, let's take another look at that.
Yeah, let's get a replay, because
Huh?
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 Exactly.
I'm so I'm so
Oh.
making a meme of this. Dan just.
Oh.
Oh yeah, no, he was.
Huh?
I think he was gonna look for a move on the inside, but fought against it. Realised he's too late, and he's like, I kind of have to take evasive action here. Well, Jeff Spangler's got through now. Also, German's got a drive through.
Oh, that's the F part 3.
And they haven't even pitted yet.
All right. Well, that will put Jeff at P2. Should there be no changes? As we have a Wilson off track. Let's see if we
Oh
can
no,
figure out-
Andrew Wilson! Oh, I think this is contact. Oh, you can see the BMW right behind him. Oh no.
Oh,
I think we know what's going to happen.
Oh.
Oh my god!
that
Just
was
get sent in
awful.
Shadow Realm. Oh no.
It's just, a hit in the rear, and then a hit on the main, and then a hit on the front, then a hit on the front. That's 100% suspension damage.
So I'm being told in chat, if the race were to end right now, there's a good possibility that Jeff would win the championship. And it's probably even more true if we consider that, you know, Rados did have a few taps and like rear end taps that he gave and could possibly get a penalty for those, which would drop him a few.
Yeah, well, this is the battle. We've got. I'm just going to point this out. Does German not know that they have to pit in this race? Like, we're 40 minutes in, and they are still yet to pit. To be fair, they've got to go. They've got to do a drive-through soon. They've got 2 laps remaining of it, so you're gonna have to come into the pit. You're gonna have to come into the pit lane eventually, sir. Right now, Jeff Spangler still trying to close down as we see some good old bit of action on the PIP. Lane of Unstra, talk us through it.
Yeah, well, just looking through this, Max Simmons has been trying desperately just to get past by Blasini Rivera, but it doesn't seem to be the case at all. As you were mentioning earlier, Alexa, with Jeff Spangler with the being, or like at least one of the McLarens, like trying to get, and Blasini Rivera trying to get a move done on. There's Brian Anderson going by. Put the brakes on the PIP, but as you were saying though, that McLaren just gets the speed and then it just slows right down, and it looks like to be the case for Max Simmons trying to get past Jason Allen, but that just doesn't seem the case.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the downfalls of the McLaren, when a lot of people say the McLaren is good all around, but when this may just be a thing with me, and probably just because I'm bad at driving, well
then.
Things are happening. Odd things are happening.
German got DSQ'd. German got DSQ'd because they did not serve their drive-through.
Well.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they were just like, forget it, I'm just gonna hang out.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if you could like even ignore that. Like that's just pretty clear that you have a drive-through. Huh.
Well, I mean, obviously you can ignore it. You're not gonna get away with it for long.
Yeah, exactly. Temporarily.
Big contact. That is Cortez, who has made it through scot-free. Was it the Porsche who he made contact with?
Yes.
Oh, that is unlucky. Leme goes down into Villeneuve, nice and tidy. Leme's got going again, though, for Rennsport. This is ACC. This is ACC. Since when were we on Rennsport?
Great debate over whether Jeff or Rados is in a better position to win right now, as Cortez and Dunham have a little contact, and Cortez is the big loser there. Let's see how that looks. Yep. Oh.
Ford Mustang. Oh, I'm in it. It's a shame I don't have a insert Roblox oof here, as we are looking into the greenery. Apparently, we're looking at the hills.
Apparently, the passenger in Spef Chandler's car is sitting in the trees.
I don't think that's where you're. I don't think that's where you're. Yeah, I don't think. Luckily enough, this isn't rallying, because if that was the case and it was rally, then I would be very concerned. Anyway, let's have a nice little fight, shall we? Because we've got Jeff Spangler, 13 minutes left, and lucky for some. And up, Jeff Spangler goes deep. Here comes Dan Cran.
Oof.
This is looking. This is about to be a fun one, Stephanie and Selena, because we got a fight on our hands, and it looks like we're going to have even more people joining the fight, because not only is Jeremy Mercer leading, he's followed by Jeff Spangler, Dan Cran, Dinarte, Menning, Rados, and I think Dornelles is also on the back of that fight.
I see him.
We got a fight.
We do.
Yeah, so we're gonna, it looks like we're gonna have a nice little fight here between lots of drivers, because oh my god, is that train. You can see it on the board on the left hand side. It is less than a second between each driver as we head now down the main straight. Everybody's starting to bunch up again. Rocket Racer Blue, aka the fake BMW, is going to be making its way through the left, through the right as you head through Tamburello, and it's now towards Villeneuve. It is up against them. The chicanes of Sector 1 can be a key factor, and it is going to be these final laps where it's going to count. We're seeing about 1 minute 40s, maybe a little bit over, for the lap times around here, so it is going to be a fight all the way to the end, just under about 5, maybe 6 laps remaining. So we're about to have a fight, we're about to have a skirmish, and it is a battle between the top 7, all for the lead. So one mistake and it is all to play for. It is sharks in water. It is one mistake that may cost you, and it is Andrew Rados who may be the first to make one, but Michael Menning just unable, as Dinarte actually, not Rados. Rados is behind. Right now you can see Jeff Spangler as well, who's going to have the better acceleration. It may be the Ford Mustang. Jeff Spangler on the back, but gonna fall behind a little bit, down into the braking zone. Will he take a lunge, or will he play the time? He's got to be careful because he's got Dan Cran right behind him on this battle, on this fight, onto the exit, onto the line as we head on to lap number 29.
Realize that Jorge has actually swapped positions with Jason Allen, and now
apologies, Selena, we're going to cut in here as it is going to be Jeff Spangler who's going to go for the lead down into Tamburello. No, backs out of it. So back to you, Selena. Apologies.
No worries, real good. Well, I was just saying that Jason Allen has swapped a position, so that's the one that I did miss a few laps early on. And now Max Simmons is desperately trying to try to overtake that Lexus, but it just doesn't seem to be working at all, because that Lexus just has all the straight line speed, and that McLaren is just not even able to set up an overtake at all.
Yeah, well, this is where it comes down to it. Aqua Minerale. One mistake between these drivers, and that's where it counts. We see the battle also going on further back on the PIP. Here comes Jeff Spangler one more time. We're entering the final 10 minutes, and this is about to come over. It goes over the curb, lots of bumps, lots of drivers as we see Jeff Spangler on the exit. It is Jerry Mercer who leads this race so far, followed by Jerry Mercer and Dan Kranitz. And Donate, Menning rounds out the top 5. Andrew Rados and Dornelis is on the back of this battle, with Anton Rushovic, who a little bit further behind in P number 8, Kelvin Lau P number 9, and Williams rounds out the top 10. You see Peter O'Brien versus Mr. Sir a little bit further back. Is also a tight little battle, but this battle for the lead is what we need to watch in these final 10 minutes, because this is the fight that is going to be happening, and it is up to these guys, and it is going to be an interesting one. And we continue here. If you are, oh, it's going to be contact. Round they go, down they go, into the gravel, and of course it happens when I just glance at Twitch chat.
That is Rados. Menning giving up the position, though.
Why does stuff always happen when I just glance at Twitch chat?
That's just like commentator's curse, but the opposite.
It always happens.
No, it's probably the cameraman's curse.
Yeah.
Jeff is the only one that has tinfoil strong enough to fend it off. And that's through multiple seasons.
Anyway. Oh no! Anyway, back to the racing action.
Well, it's a huge
happening?
debate in the chat whether Jeff or Andrew Rados will take the gold championship this season as it currently stands. Calculations are going all over the place, and 1 minute it's Jeff, 1 minute it's Rados, but needless to say, it's really close, and the chances of us knowing tonight are pretty slim by the sounds of it. All right, we have a triple check that Jeff is winning now. So, without penalties.
Well, without penalties, yeah. As honestly, we've been watching these fights. Michael Menning into the pit lane, no surprise there. Big old bump, big old damage, big old dint in the car. As this battle further back as well on the PIP has been going on for absolutely ages. Selena, talk us through what you're doing.
It has. Well, Fire Queso joined into the fray for just a moment, but he fell off back. And actually, speaking of this, will Max Simmons finally, after so many laps, be able to overtake Jason Allen in that Lexus? But it doesn't seem to be the case at all, unfortunately, for Max Simmons, unless he can still stay in the slipstream and keep it. But he doesn't look like he's gonna have overlap. Is he gonna push it? No, he will not at all. Sort of the wise move. But oh man, if I were Max Simmons, I'd be like, oh, I'd be losing my patience. Like that's like so many. They've been going at it for like so many laps, but I've just been eyeing on it because now Fire Queso is just like popping in and out of view here and there, just waiting for something to happen. But oh man, Max Simmons and Jason Allen, I feel like Jason is having a lot of fun in that Lexus with the straight line speed, just absolutely annihilating that McLaren. It's just getting so close, but it not working out for Max Simmons. But it's racing. I'd say that it would change at least something, considering Fire Queso is now just licking his lips at this battle, watching them fighting at tooth and nail up at front, but he's so close into the RG chicane. But oh wow, this is very close.
Yeah, well, we'll wait and see, and it is up and clear. These guys do keep on going. I just want to ask Twitch chat something real quick. Have I been spiking less tonight? Because I know that's an issue, and I thought I would ask Twitch chat, because I know it is an issue for me sometimes. Have I been spiking less tonight? I've got my headset slightly different tonight, so have I been spiking less? Thank God. Yeah, what? Yeah, audio clipping, spiking. Okay, thank God, because I'm trying a new headset thing, so I just thought I'd ask. As right now, go Jeff. We got support in the chat for Jeff, Stephanie.
Sorry, second. I'm just watching Jeff here. And you've got Denarte back there. He was looking to make a move also. And everybody thinks that your headset sounds great.
Yay! Yeah, I know, because I usually I had the earmuff which has my microphone on, and then the other one off, but I've switched it around, so my mic isn't as close to me anymore, which was probably causing the spiking when I got a bit loud. As right now, Denarte making his way through. Here he comes up in the bow. This is for the podium position. Down into the braking zone, into the left, into the right, contact into the gravel. Boom, bam, bosh, and kicked off the podium. I think he had that done and dusted until the contact, Stephanie.
Yeah, he did. He might have. Wow. Who's that gonna go to? Not sure. This is a crazy one. If it's so, was that Dan or was that Denarte?
Well, who was on the inside?
I see someone saying just racing incident. So, should that be the case? Nobody's gonna lose a spot.
Nothing, Dustin. Well, to be fair, he didn't get spun round.
No, everybody's straight.
That's just elbows out racing.
Yeah.
So, I think that's just the racing
Oh!
incident. Oh!
Simmons finally going side by side. This is the moment with over 4 minutes left. Is he finally gonna do it? Going into the right-hander or the left-hander, he finally gets it after so many laps. Things have changed for Max Simmons, and I'm sure he is breaking up his sweat right now with that McLaren just forcing it into every position possible, wiggling, and he finally made it happen. And now Fire Queso has to deal with Jason Allen just parked right in front of that Ferrari.
Yeah, well, we'll wait and see here. That was a lovely move there. Thankfully, we've been able to get that. Selena's just our lovely resident drone operator, Selena Boonstra, who is also the person we actually need to give credit for this, because this is the final race of the season. I'll give credit to this while we're watching this battle, and we got a little bit of time. If you do wonder where the intro comes from, the intro at the start of the streams, it comes from this lovely person, Selena Boonstra. So she gets all the clips and everything, and I do believe that the music comes from Donovan Colton.
Indeed, for the intro, yep.
So those are the people who bring you the hype to kick us off with the intro video. Shots and editing by Selena Boonstra, and then audio by, of course, Donovan Colton. Looking at Donovan Colton, he's going to lose out there, not once, but twice. Was P15, down into P number 17, lost out to Colin Dunham, lost out to Arjun, and down into Aqua Minerale. They will now go, and we are on to the final lap of this race, the final lap of the D1 season, and it is going to be this. It's Jeff Spangler versus Jeremy Mercer. It's an over a second gap now to Dan Cran after his little moment, but this final lap, these final moments, this entire season, this is what it comes down to. Down into Tosa, they will now go, and Jeff Spangler is on the hunt. He may have done enough to get the championship, but he wants that cherry on top. He wants that race win. He wants that season finale that anyone would want. As we go now down into Aqua Minerale, this is the final lap. This is the final time through Aqua up through Minerale, and it is kind of into the RNG chicane. We saw Dan Cran at a moment here earlier. He looked to the inside. It didn't work out. Hopes for the Ford Mustang has a little bit of a moment with the curbs. It's not going to work out that time. Did he have the better launch though? Slipstream is there. Gonna go down through the right-hander. Now into the final 2 corners. Under the signage. And into the final. Double left-handers. One more right-hander to go. But the Ford Mustang may have it locked in. It may be a drag race to the line. We're going to find out here. Jeremy Mercer leads, followed by Jeff Spangler, then Dan Cran. And it looks like it's going to stay there. Jeremy Mercer P1, Jeff Spangler P2, Dan Cran P3. And I do believe with that, we'll have to wait for the stewards' incidents, we'll have to wait for the calculations, we'll have to wait for the drop round. But I believe that Jeff Spangler is the champion, but we cannot confirm as we got all these drivers.
Oh!
Selena has received out on your side.
Yeah, switched over to Donovan Colton and Evan Kim just going at it back and forth. And I mean, literally, but Donovan unfortunately losing 2 positions with Timothy Flamger squeezing right through at Riviazza 1. Oh man, that was one intense lap for Donovan Colton, but unfortunately he lost it to Evan Kim and Timothy Flamger. But wow, what a race. But it's not finished yet, as there are still more further back at the grid coming across the start finish line. What a finish though. What a race.
Yeah, we still got a few drivers to come to the line. Stephanie, let's get your thoughts.
Wow. That was intense. I'm gonna drop us over to our intermission screen. That was fun. I mean, that close battle for the championship just really spread out the battles that you really wanted to watch closely. You had Jeff trying to get all the points he could to try to secure that from Rados, as going into this race, Rados was ahead by almost 20 points. So by the sounds of it, it seems like we're going to go with it. Spef Jangler will get the championship for a 2nd season in a row. But we're just not 100% sure for tonight. We can start trying to get some of these guys in for interviews. As I can remember where everyone was.
Yeah, well, we'll have to do a little bit of remembering, but well, let's have a look. Who have we got? Who we could?
Dan Cran would be P3. Oh, well, we're gonna have to steal him from his secret position. Stealing. Oh, where did I put him? Wait, I tried to steal him and I put him in the wrong place. He's probably really confused. There. Hello, Dan.
Hello. I'm getting dragged around as an admin.
Yeah. And plus I put you in the wrong spot at first, so that was probably really confusing.
All good.
Well, congratulations on a P3 finish tonight. That was an intense race.
Yeah, I am drenched, to put it lightly. That was a very stressful race for me. I had one of my best races for sure. I was yelling at the screen during quali when I nailed that lap, and glad I was able to hang on for a very good result in the end.
It was an awesome result. I mean, you held on to P2 for so long there. It looks like that whole undercut maneuver was a really big factor in this race tonight.
Yeah, Mercer made a great move going early. The blue flags I didn't realize would be coming out so in so much quantity right in front of everybody. So everyone had to kind of adjust to get around them. He timed it well, and then I think Denartes really messed up his pit, and I've definitely cost him a great race result. But yeah, it was definitely stressful with Jeff around and Mercer ahead. Hard to keep everything in line and hit all your braking points. And I'm glad it all worked out in the end. It was a great result. But I definitely want to make sure we highlight our champions of the season too. So definitely make sure you get some time with our season 14 champions in gold and silver and team tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try to work that out. It sounds like the gold was a really tight race.
It
pun
was
intended.
definitely a tight one on gold. I would probably have to get back to you on that. I thought the initial calculations were going towards Spangler, but I'm not sure.
That seems
I
to
have
be the
not had
general
time to look at it.
consensus. Yeah. General consensus is it goes to Jeff, but you know.
You'll be able to talk to him when you pull him
Yep.
up.
Yeah. Yes, we will. Anyone you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Just shout out to everyone, especially you all, for putting on the commentary team week in, week out. Makes a big difference to our community for sure. Obviously, being on the admin team, I'm just happy to see the amazing turnout we've had this season. It's been awesome to see, and just hope we can continue it going forward. And definitely a shout out to my teammate Gomer. He had a tough one this race with a DT that kind of cost him a good position, but overall, very happy with how the season went and looking forward to the next one.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations and have a great night.
Thank you both.
All right. So, let's see. Who is next?
That is a good question. Who is next? Who can we bring up to the comment box?
Well,
We can bring up Jeff Spangler, because he came P2.
Okay. We will.
Yes.
Jeff, where are you? There you are. Move to. Hello, Jeff. And congratulations. Welcome back to the booth.
Hey, how are you guys doing? Same time, same place.
Yes.
We meet again.
Well,
Indeed.
welcome to your second home.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start paying rent, but I'm okay with that.
Maybe this is just a sign for you to do commentary next season.
I've done some before. We'll see. I might dabble again.
Nice.
Ooh,
Love to hear that.
nice. So, have you tried the calculations to see if you got it yet?
I believe I got it by 4 points.
Nice. How's that feeling?
It's great. I said I didn't expect to win at all, and certainly after the first 2 weeks of this season, I think I had like a 7th and an 8th place finish. I wasn't too keen on practicing very much, but then things picked up from there. I think I podiumed from there on out and managed to not win a race. But wow, this race, action-packed. You couldn't ask for much more than that in a race with early back markers, people trying to undercut, cover each other off. Yeah, I had a little bit of a tire advantage there, I think by about 10 minutes on Jeremy, but couldn't get anything done. And I was fairly certain that second place with Andrew finishing 6th was going to be enough, so I didn't want to do anything too stupid. But wow, what a lot of fun.
Awesome. Alexa, you have anything you want to add in here?
Yes. So, what's the shoey going to be out of this time?
One of those shoes now has a hole in it, so I don't think it's the shoey shoe. So I do have another green football cleat that I could use. Football boot. There you go. But yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, Kelvin and I, we blew the budget on last season, so I don't know what we're gonna do. Because we also won the team championship, so super pumped for that. And Kelvin had a great race today. Absolutely amazing race.
He did. He did.
Just saying football shoe. Crazy. Anyways, next season then, what you thinking? Maka, you're going to keep up with the Maka? You're going to be switching cars? How's that all going to be playing out?
You can say you heard it here first. I think I'm going to park the McLaren in the garage. I might park myself in the garage. I'm not sure, but then part of me would feel bad not, taking advantage of the opportunity to run the number one around the track again. I will say one of my favorite cars back in the day was the Bentley. So that is a definite possibility. I haven't driven it literally in years. The Lexus was another favorite car of mine. So probably one of those two. Definitely not the Mustang. I think next season we're probably going to see at least, hopefully at the top of D1, a bit of a Mustang light field. So we'll see.
Oh, fair enough. Well, congratulations on the predicted championship. Of course, with the calculations, it does say that you are champion, but of course, stewards, yada yada yada.
Absolutely, and I don't think I had any oopsies, and I did have a couple things go my way, which was very satisfying after kind of getting the short end of the strategy call last week. So, yeah, sometimes it goes your way, and sometimes it's just enough.
Well, fair enough. We shall let you go and pop open the champagne.
Absolutely.
And have a good night. We shall let you go. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you all for your work in the commentary booth. We all love you guys and the time and effort that you put in. And I hope one of you wins the coveted, I hear, Broadcaster of the Year award. So thank you.
Yeah,
and enjoy the off season, guys.
Hey.
Thanks.
All right. Take care.
See ya.
Take care.
So let's grab our silver winner, Mr. Marecki, before he runs off. Hello, Eric Marecki, and congratulations on the silver win tonight.
Oh, thank you very much.
How was that race for you guys?
Oh man, I was nervous. This is probably the best finish that I can remember in the last 2 seasons. So the whole time I was trying to calm my nerves down, trying to stay focused on the cars in front, and just keep putting in the laps, not looking at the guys behind me.
Awesome. And wow.
Yeah.
It's the last race. I can't ask about next week's race. There isn't a next race.
It kind of froze
already.
It froze us off a little bit. Talk us through it then, Eric, because of course silver win, and it's not too bad really. Just overall season, how's it been, and what you're looking to next season?
Well, this was a much better season than last season. You know, I drove the Aston Martin for like 4 seasons in a row, and for some reason I decided I'm going to drive the Ferrari last season, and that was miserable for me. So we decided to go with the McLaren. The first race didn't go too well, but after that I slowly started coming to grips with this car, and I'm thinking we're going to sit in it again next season as long as my teammate's up for it. I like the way it works. I finally got got a hang of it, and put in some good results.
Well, fair enough. What was it like out there? Of course, with the nighttime qualifying to early hour morning sunrise race, of course the sun glare very evident coming out of Aqua Minerale, etc. What was it like with that being a possibility and a factor when trying to follow cars?
After the first couple of times you see the sun blinding you in the face, you kind of just stop looking at it, and I started looking at other markers that weren't having me stare at the sun. And then as far as the cars in front, I was just trying to keep clean. I didn't want any penalties that could cost me this win. Towards the end of the race, I think it was O'Brien and Mr. Sir were battling it out, and they had me a little nervous because I kept seeing second place silver catching up. So I just tried to stay out of the way. I didn't want to dive bomb them or stick a nose in and then get spun around. So I just kept my distance, tried to keep half a second behind them to give myself room, and just keep it clean for the finish. The silver win was worth more than trying to take 2 more spots.
Fair enough. Selena, is there anything you would like to ask?
Not at the top of my head, but all I can say is great racing out there. And since it's a finale, I'd say, what are you planning to do during the off season? Are you still going to maybe race or take a break until the next season? What's your plan?
I'll put some practice in. I don't usually in the off season. I don't like to get too burned out, so I'll probably take 2 weeks off and then play some other games, and then as soon as the quali track gets announced, I'll start pounding in laps. I don't think I want to jump to a different car because it takes me a little bit of practice and time to get up to speed with them. I can't just hop in a car and be at a D1 pace instantly. So hopefully we'll stick with the same car and take a couple weeks off, and then we'll see how it goes after that.
Nice.
Well, fair enough. Before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to all the Madhouse guys. Colin, my teammate, especially. After last season, I was almost ready to take a break from this season, and he kind of said, let's regroup and we'll pick a different car and see how it goes. So without an actual team of people behind me, Calvin was really good last season. He kind of took me down a notch when I was ready to park it for the rest of the season, and so without those guys, this season wouldn't have happened.
Fair enough. We shall let you go, and congratulations on that silver win.
Thank you very much.
All right, now to find our race winner, Mr. Mercer. Are you ready for us to bring him in?
Oh yes, we're ready for Jeremy Mercer.
All right, incoming Jeremy.
Jeremy Mercer, you are live on the Sim Racing Alliance Twitch channel. Talk us through it. How was that race?
Tiring, very tiring, but it worked, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah, so very tiring, of course, being out there in the front. What was those final few laps like? Of course, Jeff Spangler right behind you, chasing you down. What was it like seeing him in your rearview mirror majority of that second half of the race?
I knew that in the draft he could get a little bit of a run on me, and that my tires were old since I pit really early. And so I was just make sure I don't make any mistakes that are too significant that will allow him an opportunity, and just minimize mistakes, and that was just the focus, and make it.
Well, fair enough. Going from Imola to next season, what are you thinking about next season? Sticking with the Mustang, hoping that Imola doesn't return to the calendar. What are you thinking for next season?
Well, I always switch cars just for variety's sake, and there's probably a few too many Mustangs this season anyway. So I haven't decided what I'm going to drive next season, but I'll look at the list of cars and we'll see what it is.
Well, fair enough. Selena, I shall let you ask a question.
I don't think I have any at the moment. At least I can think of anyway.
Over to you, Stephanie.
Just say congratulations on that race win. That had to be tough. I mean, It
Yeah.
was intense.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. It was tough, and I am tired, and I'm gonna try to go to sleep pretty soon. So
All right.
Yeah, I feel that one actually. I like kind of zoned out, not gonna lie, but yeah, congrats on the win.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to for us?
I guess my teammate again, Peter O'Brien, keeping me calm during the race, I guess. And yeah, and SRA for having clean races, and I guess Jeff Spengler too, because I had some battles with him on the opening lap that were clean, and glad he gave me the space.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again. It's nice to have you up here with us. And
Thanks.
Hope you get a good night's sleep now. Rest well.
Okay, bye.
And there you all have it. Season 14 has now come to a close.
Well, Stephanie, Season 14 has come to a close for Division 1 and 3 and 5. But before we round out for tonight, is there anything you two would like to say before we round this out? Because D1 is done, meaning that I believe you two no longer have anything else to do this week apart from Selena Racing.
Yes, because Division 2, 4, and 6 races tomorrow at the same time, same place, and same stream. At tomorrow, which I personally, I'm on the fence at the moment. I thought I was doing pretty good laps, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. But fingers crossed for a luckier race, considering last week was interesting. But still looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah. Stephanie, before I round us out, anything you would like to say?
Not just thank you to everybody who joins us on Twitch, you know, whether it's every week or on occasion, and, you know, make the comments and are in here with us. It makes it so much more fun and enjoyable over here. I appreciate you guys supporting us.
Yeah, very much. And I cannot thank you guys enough either. SimRace Alliance, I'll be honest, changed my commentary life, and I now do this for pro, technically, thanks to you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, the racing action for this week is done for D1, D3, D5. It's all done for season number 14. D3 and 5 you can find on YouTube. But the racing action's not done yet this week. Division 2 returns tomorrow night right here on twitch.tv/sim_racing_alliance. For D2, that will be with Arjun, myself, and Jackson Lambros. Division 4 and Division 6 will be over on YouTube. D4 being hosted by Anton, Alexandra, and Marlon, with D6 being Queasy and Justin Rosenthal. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to join the Sim Racing Alliance or show your allegiance, it's sra.gg/store for merch, or you can go to sra.gg to find us, to find our website, sign up, join the Discord, join us for the racing action. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Season 14, round number 8 for Division 1. I've been Alexa Marshall, with Selena Boonstra, and Stephanie Fisher, for one last time this season in D1. Good night.